Welcome to the Afrocentrics podcast, where we explore everything from personal development to fulfillment, African pride, dating, and all things that make your spirit thrive. The Afrocentrics podcast is not just for Afrocentric people, but for everybody. Our shows will entertain as well as educate and focus on uplifting positivity. So take some time out on your commute or lunch break and plug in with us and be inspired. The Afrocentrics podcast, proudly African.
Hello, how you doing? So good to have you join us today on this particular segment of the Afrocentrics podcast. This is Discovery Tuesday, where we talk about all things relationship and self-discovery. So I'm not here alone. I'm with my regular host, Solomon Omerio. Solomon, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm here again with you.
Oh, fine. I'm doing excellently well. Thank you for always being here,
Thank you.
All right. So we're going to be talking about healthy relationship. What are the signs of healthy relationship? What makes a relationship healthy? What do we look out for in someone that gives us the confidence to go ahead and build a relationship? And how long can we go on together? What are the things to look out for as considerations on your checklist, that make you know that you are in a healthy relationship? What can you actually do to improve your relationship? Is there hope for a positive change in the relationship that you're presently in? When do you think you should call it quits? If you realize that you are in an unhealthy relationship, and how far can you go with this person? What adjustments do you have to make personally if you have to continue in the relationship that you're presently in? Then also, the most important, what boundaries do you need to put in place to ensure that you're not hurting each other? So what makes a relationship healthy? Solomon?
Yeah, that's a very wide topic. Everyone is talking about that. There's been an increase in communications and discussions about relationships. Everyone wants to know. It seems like it's difficult these days. But I just think most people struggle with so many options on the table and a lot of information out there. The biggest challenge we have in this generation is too much information. So most people have their opinions out there online, and they're really messing up things. But today I want us to talk about what it means. First of all, we have to understand that there is no one size fits all in relationship. Everyone have different aspects or different things that works for them, which is why we keep on talking about self-discovery in every episode we talk about. Because if you know yourself, if you know your spouse, you know what works for you. Although there can be general guidelines on what works, but there are specifics that are very important to you. So today we'll touch a bit about the general guidelines and a little about the specifics and how you could discover those specifics for yourself. One thing I keep saying is, in relationship, communication is important. Relationship without communication is having a car without a wheel. So you find out the car is moving, the car is driving, but you can't navigate it. You can't wheel it to where you want it to be. You guys are just going on a speed mode. That's what relationship is like without communication. I had a friend once that asked me a question. He just got married and he was like, this is how I would really love my wife and I to do things. What do you think about it? He asked me a specific question on how he wanted them to do things. And I told him straight up, I was like, there is no good or bad about this thing. It's just what works for both of you. So call her to the table, sit with her, have that conversation with her, and see if it works for her. So communication is very important. It's not about what the other person is saying. And that's why relationship is about two people, you and your significant other. So it's all about what works for both of you. And you can only find that out by discussing with each other. ask her questions, try to get how the person feel about things, set plans, and work together. That's how it goes. So for me, that's the number one.
Now, communication, open communication is very important, because I realize that most times when somebody is talking to you, you already have what you want to say. You're not even listening to be able to understand what the other person is trying to say. So open communication actually thrives when you can listen to the other person without being judgmental. You listen to gain their perspective so that you can now share yours later. Not just listening so that you can have a time to answer back. You understand? Okay, another thing that's very important about healthy relationship is interdependence. Interdependent means that you rely on each other for mutual support, but you still maintain your identity as a unique individual. Here we come again to identity. It's so important, because for a relationship to be balanced, you need to know that you have the approval and the love of your significant other, but your self-esteem doesn't depend on them, because it will be rising and falling if you have to depend on people, to gain a good view of who you are. So although you are there for each other, you don't necessarily depend on each other to get all of your needs met. You must understand that interdependency thrives on adaptability, your ability to adapt to one another, to know what works for you, to know what, how far you can go, So it's very important that you adapt to circumstances, and that the fact that people are always changing and going through different phases in life, you must come to understand. That's why communication, like you earlier said, is important, because until you understand the other person, understand the other person, you will not be able to understand the different phases that they are at, and be able to adapt, to them. So that's a very key, sign of healthy relationship, interdependency, which thrives on adaptability.
Very true. Very, very true. I agree with you 100%. Another important one is trust. Trust is a very significant part of a healthy relationship. First of all, I ask people, I said, if you don't trust someone, why are you even in the relationship with the person? Naturally, if you don't trust someone, you don't even want to be around the person. You don't want to be with someone. You want to be looking at your back or watching your back every day. So trust is something very important. It's something you can learn, of which it applies to both partners. You gain trust and you also give trust. It's not just about, always expecting people to trust you. You have to also show up for them, make them trust you, being open to them, avoid keeping secrets. So this way, you're building a space where people can trust you. But that's not just enough. The other person has to learn to trust you, saying, I'm with this person and I trust and believe in them. If you don't have that in a relationship, you just you're gonna keep asking questions, poking into things. One thing we want to have in every relationship is trust. Being able to close your eyes and say, yes, I know my partner is doing the right thing. I know wherever my partner is at the moment, I'm comfortable and fine with it. And I'll say this, if you don't trust the person you're with, just find a way to trust them. And if you can't do that, it's just better to leave the relationship, because you're always going to be struggling. It's more about you being at unrest than them, because you're always going to be wondering, where is he or she? What are they doing? Who are they with? So for a healthy relationship, you have to learn to trust. You just have to learn to trust. And like I said, not just only learning to trust, but building an atmosphere of trust where the person can also trust you.
Very important. That word you just said is very important, because trust is earned. Trust is earned. The fact that you say a particular thing doesn't mean that, that I should hold you to your words. If the time, over the years, you've not shown yourself as trustworthy. Your word has not been your bond for the longest time. You don't expect me to trust you, because what am I going to be holding on to? Your words don't mean anything to you. You understand?
Very
so for
true.
me, trust is like the very cement that holds that which holds the fabric together, that which holds the building together. Trust is that. It's the vital ingredient in any relationship. If, LD relationship, as it were. All right, that's us. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is curiosity. Curiosity. Most times people get bored with their partner. They just feel that, see finish. That see finish phrase, meaning that there's nothing more.
Yeah.
There's
For
nothing
those
more
that
to
don't
you.
understand what see finish means, it's like a broken English in Nigeria. It's like it's more of a familiarity. Like all about the person, and there's nothing special to the person anymore.
Exactly. So if you want to be an excellent partner, you must learn to be a student of your spouse, of your significant other. Be interested in their thoughts, be interested in their goals, be interested in their daily life. Watch them grow into their best self and help them grow too. You are not fixated on who they used to be or who you think they should be. You give them room to grow. All flexible mindsets about them. Give room for growth. Give room for improvement. Because people have this is how you've always been. This is how you've always been. Most times people don't take the time to see the efforts their partner is making in improving themselves. And it's very painful when you're trying to work on yourself and improve yourself, and your significant other does not even recognize it, just because they have this blanket mind, like this is how you've always been, this is how you always be. So give people room for change. Curiosity means that you're willing to consider or to talk over changes to your relationship structure. If aspects of your existing relationship becomes less fulfilling, because most times when people get into relationship, they don't see any need why they should work on their relationship or improve on themselves. So it's important that you help each other grow, help each other discover parts of themselves that they ordinarily would not see. Because the truth is this: when you're in a relationship, you are able to observe things, salient points, salient things in your partner that they are not even aware of, and you could help them grow and develop those things that you have seen. So curiosity, you should also be on that learning curve where you discover your partner, help them to grow, help them to be the best version of themselves. So always be curious, always be curious about how you can improve them and how they can improve. Show them how they can improve themselves if they are not saying that.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Things get more interesting when you learn from them, when you're learning something new. So I like to put that as learning from your partner constantly. Mm-hmm. So when you keep learning about each other, when you keep learning new things together, there's this excitement, this joy in your heart. True. Yes. So one way to keep that going is, build goals together, individual goals and collective goals. Keep learning, trying something new. You could just set a goal or a target together as a couple, achieve it together. This excites you guys. True. Yeah, I agree with you on that. The next one I'll talk about is boundaries. Boundaries. Yeah. A lot of people are skeptical about this.
Very sensitive matter.
Most people believe when you say boundaries, you're being rigid, or you're setting a new 10 commandments in the house. But they don't realize that keeping boundaries saves your relationship. Most people go like, oh no, let's just turn a blind eye. This is what I say to people. Whatever happens in a relationship, it's either it's in your heart or it's out there. This is what I mean. Now, when things happen in a relationship, for example, your partner does something you don't like, a lot of people try to go like, oh no, I'll turn a blind eye to it. I tell them it's a lie. It's either you don't really care or like that thing doesn't bother you, or you're just keeping it inside. And if you're keeping it inside, that's worse. Because you notice it starts to pile up. And that's where you see people go like, yes, 2 years ago you did the same thing. And you go like, 2 years ago, are you still keeping those things? They may not really be intentionally keeping those things, but it's just there. But when you set boundaries and you go like, this is what I like, and this is what I don't like, or this is what I can compromise on, or this is what I can't compromise on, it's easier. The other person goes through the relationship saying, oh, I know he won't be happy with this. So they wouldn't want to do it because they love you. But situations where they're not sure of whether you like it or not, it's hard to tell. For example, you want to buy stuff for your spouse and you're not even sure if they like it or not. You're going to be confused. You get me? So if you want to do something and you're not sure about the stand of your spouse, it's hard to be able to avoid the things they don't like. But when you set boundaries, it's clear to both parties. She loves this, she doesn't like this, or she's going to be upset with this, or he's going to be happy with this. So with such boundaries, conflict is reduced. You have less arguments. You have less misunderstandings. Because anytime the line is crossed, you know, okay, this person knows I don't like this one. He or she is intentionally crossing the line. So boundaries is something I advise people to do. Yeah, you want to say something?
Yeah, it's so important that you state out, your claims, kind of like, these are the things I would like, these are the things I don't like. But most times people don't talk. They just want to please the other partner. And in a way of pleasing, they just keep dying in silence. Say it. That's why openness, like you said, the open relationship, open communication. You should be free to talk about the things that you don't like, the things that you want, the things that you don't want, how you feel if the other person is hurting you or stepping on your toes or something. I mean, things that you cannot condone, things that you cannot do without, how you want to be treated is part of boundaries, how you want to be seen, how you want to, to be considered, all of that is, state your claim so that the other person would definitely know what you want and what you don't want. That's very important. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is time apart. People feel that as much as spending time together is a sign of a healthy relationship, spending time apart too is also a sign. I know it sounds funny, but the truth about the matter is that, when you are always in the face of your partner, they get easily tired. You don't give them room to breathe. So as much as it's good to prioritize spending time together, you must always make out time, give the other person space to breathe, to be by themselves, to catch up with themselves. Though the amount of time you spend together can vary based on your work, your commitments, and where your living conditions and all that. But you must recognize that there is a need for a personal space, and time on their own, because if you're always in their face, you won't give them time to develop their own skill, their own talent, to find, to get involved with other relationships and grow and find time for them, to pursue a hobby, to see friends, or even to go hang out with, their friends of the same sex. People should be given space, to discover themselves, to try out things by themselves. So it's important that you understand that your partner needs time to be alone, and it's not because they're tired of you, or it's not because they don't want you anymore. It's because they want to breathe. They want to, reunite with themselves. They want to keep tab with themselves and have that time where they can have personal appraisal and watch their growth pattern and see where they can, they can make amends and all that. So it's important that you respect your partner's privacy and give them time to breathe and to be alone.
That's very true. I think we should dwell on that a bit. All right. Don't really understand what this means, especially for those in a new relationship. They want to be there. There's this charm, and excitement. Yeah. So they want to be over there, selfies together, all of these things. It's awesome. Don't get me wrong, but at some point, people need their own personal space. I don't know about women. I think let's talk about this on an individual note, with respect to from a man's side and a woman's side. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
As a man, I think that sometimes the guy just wants to chill on his phone. He wants to be on his phone. He wants to have like a drink on his phone. He wants to hang out with the guys. He wants to watch his football match. There's something men do, they call the men cave, He just wants to be there for those that drink, probably with a bottle of or drink, or just with his friends, cheering up, watching things.
Catching up on old times.
With no one stealing his fries. Yeah, but most people don't get that. They want to be all on all, cuddling always. And when they don't get that, they feel rejected. They feel jealous. They think the man is cheating. I don't know how it is for women. Let's hear you. let's hear you.
About oh, I hope you're not attacking us. Please calm down.
I'm not. I'm just being a man.
Okay. The truth is this: women thrive on relationship. We love to talk. We love to spend time together. We want to cuddle. We just want you to just be looking at us and be staring at us. We connect more when we talk. We connect more. We want to know what's in your head. This is a good time to ask. I read somewhere that there's a space in the brain of every man where there is written nothing. Like there's nothing in there. When I told my husband, I was like, what do you mean? He said that because women have, for example, like my husband could be in the room and he's just staring, or maybe with his phone. I'm like, what are you doing? He was like, nothing. I said, what do you mean by nothing? You are using your phone. You are thinking. What are you thinking? What's in your head? And the guy was like, nothing now. I'm just thinking. I'm just there.
Why did nothing
don't understand that. Women don't understand how you can be there and have nothing on your mind. It's not possible. You must be plotting graph. We must be connecting the dots. You must be trying to be multitasking. You cannot just be doing nothing. What do you mean by nothing? What were you guys doing together? Maybe the guy went out and come out. What do you say? Nothing. We're just there hanging out. Doing what? Like, you were hanging out. What were you doing? For women, there must be a doing.
But for men, it's just like, it's like an escape, out of the world. We just want to.
What do you mean? What do you mean that we are?
It's not an escape from women necessarily. It's like an escape out of the world itself. We just want to be, we just want to do something that doesn't involve calculative reasoning or like you guys say plotting graph. No, we just want to do something that doesn't cost energy. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but something that doesn't stress us.
Yeah.
We just want to be there.
Oh, God, such an interesting one.
And that's important for the next one I want to bring. How to handle conflicts in relationship.
Wow.
It's also another important aspect. Now, let's talk about this. I like the way we're going with this. Let's break this other one with respect to men and women. Now, how you handle conflicts in relationship matters. For women, I've noticed they want to talk about things.
Yes.
There's a problem on the table and women just want to be like, we need to talk about this. I think the favorite phrase for women is, we need to talk about things.
And I learned that once you said that to a guy, the guy was like, oh, trouble again.
Putting us like on top of Mountain Everest, man. You're scaring us. Because for men...
I heard that word scares them, like...
Yeah, for real.
Well,
you see the man running up and down like, oh my God, what have I done? I'm going to tell you something. For men, there can be a lion in the room and two guys will be discussing about every other thing apart from the lion.
Apart from the lion.
Like, hey man, did you watch the match the other day? And this, and... But once a woman comes, he goes like, oh, there's a lion here. We need to talk about this. And men goes like, oh, not now.
Exactly.
So I'm not making an excuse for men that they don't have to talk about things. But it's important to understand that there's a specific time, or there's always a right time to discuss about issues. Yeah. You don't see a man dressing up for work in the morning and you go like, we need to talk about this. No, that conversation is not going to go right. Or he comes back at night, late after work, and the first thing he says is, we need to talk about. No, he's going to run away. So how women deal with issues is they confront issues straight up, like, this is this. This. Men deal with issues by running away. So first of all,
how can I solve it by running away, please?
Yeah, no, it doesn't mean it solves like that. No, that's not a justification saying men have to always run away from things. But what I'm saying is, what men do is we run away first, and then we go re-strategize and come back.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah, I'm ready for this.
The lion strategy. Okay.
Yeah, and that's why you notice once you're having a fight with a man, the first thing, most men want to leave that room. They want to go out. And women go like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I have to do this now.
Wonder why. Wonder why.
Yeah, that's our natural instinct.
The car key and off is gone.
That's our natural instinct. We want to go and re-strategize and then come back and say, okay, yeah, I'm ready for this. But women go like, no, it's now, no. So it's always important to understand that. Yeah, it's important to understand that right now may not always be the best time. Give him the space. Look for the best time he needs to discuss about it. And another thing I want to say out there, sometimes once you find the right time, just put the situation out there. Don't start with an intro. We need to talk about this. You scare the man. Yeah, for example,
just eliminate that particular clause, right? That particular sentence.
Yes.
Okay, what do you think about this? Or and this thing that happened, what do you think? I mean, we should
just go straight to the point and go like, yeah. So once you find out it's the right time, just go straight to the point and go, I need us to talk about it. Okay, I'll give you an example now. A man is dressing up in the morning to go for work, and then you go like, honey, we need to talk about something. Bam, his heart skips. He starts thinking, what have I done? He calls his friend. They're like, hey, did you talk to my wife? Did my wife call you? All through the day, he's panting. And then he comes back in the evening, and after so much strategizing and, preparing his speech and everything, and then you go like, we need to change the gas cylinder. Oh my God. He goes like, oh, really? Just the gas cylinder? Please change it. Change everything. Change the full kitchen.
Oh God! You can change the house, so if you want.
Just change the full. Yeah, because he just took his peace of mind away.
Oh God, this is interesting.
Yeah, so it's important to really know that for men, our first attempt to situation is we run away. And then strategize. Yeah. But for women, they confront. They want to have that conversation right now. But it's not always the best.
Okay. All right. Okay, so this gets me to my next point, and that's playfulness or lightheartedness. It's important that in relationship make out time for fun, for spontaneity, to laugh, to joke, go for a comedy, watch comedy, sit out, just laugh. Think about it, the laughter is a good medicine to this. It makes you feel good. That feel good hormone, endorphins, it stimulates it. So even though life challenges will come, distress might affect one or affect either of you, this can temporarily change the tone. Most times when people are ill, they're not feeling fine, the atmosphere is tensed. But find out ways to relax, find out ways to laugh, find out ways to play, and and share those moments. It helps to relieve tension. It helps to strengthen the relationship. The truth about the matter is that women love funny guys. I don't know if you know about that. So I think it's one skill that every guy should have up his sleeve. Go and learn to be funny. But the truth about matter is that if you can make a woman laugh, all the boundaries and all the barriers will be broken down without even realizing it.
Hope the guys out there listening.
Yes, I'm giving you this one for free. Just come back and thank me later. If you know how to make a lady laugh, I'm telling you. All right, so I tell you this for free. Like, just go and work on yourself and come back and thank me later. Just try and be funny. Don't be cracking dry jokes. Find if you can't do it, then plan to take her out for comedy nights of your,
just anything that can make her laugh.
Yeah, because the truth about the matter is that when a woman finds you very amusing and very funny, she lets down her guards. You do all this trying to arrange your speech and what you are going to say to bamboozle her. Just make her laugh. In short, you even know when she's falling on top of your body, like, and before you know what's happening, you have gotten the yes that you have been looking for. So please come back with my tights after exploring the streets.
But this is a very very good thing. I want to talk to guys out there. Being strict and having that uptight face does not mean it doesn't make you get respect. Stop tightening your face and broadening your shoulder. It doesn't make you a man or feel strong. No. Learn to lose your guard sometimes. Throw a joke. Yeah. Keep that smiling face.
Yes. It makes the world go round. Like,
please stop tightening the face. I want to feel manly. I want to feel strong. No.
I want respect. I want respect. I want my respect.
So please, guys out there, learn to laugh. Learn to smile. Doesn't make you weak.
All right. I think we need to wrap it up. We'll continue this conversation because I'm sure our time is fast spent. Well, it was such a nice time hanging out with you. We have so much to talk about: teamwork, physical intimacy, and all that. I believe that on our subsequent episode, we will talk about that. So we're going to talk about the red flags, the things to watch out for.
Yeah, that's also important.
Thank you so very much for joining us. We've had such an interesting time. I'm sure you must have learned a thing or two to spice up your relationship, to enable you find out where you are at presently. Are you in a healthy relationship? What are the things that you can, that you have learned that you can use to spice up your relationship and improve the condition? Thank you so very much for joining us. We're going to continue this conversation next week. So it's important that you keep a date with us next time. Lock it up until we come your way again. Keep discovering and keep being you. Thank you so very much.
Tuesday.
All right. Have yourself a wonderful day. Bye.